Well, good morning. Welcome to Daily Videos with me, Pastor Michelle. Today is Saturday, January 2nd, and let's get started with prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Now reading from Matthew. Now after they had left, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, "Get up, take the child and his mother and flee to Egypt, and remain there until I tell you. For Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him." Then Joseph got up, took the child and his mother by night, and went to Egypt and remained there until the death of Herod. This was to fulfill what had been spoken by the Lord through the prophet. "Out of Egypt I have called my son." From the first days of my son's life, God's love note, there were risks and threats and people who feared him. This world fears the power of love. So today I invite you to ask how you can be like Egypt, opening yourself to the forces of love knocking at your door, fleeing to you. I created you as generous and compassionate, and I know this world will try to place fear in your heart in order to walk closely with me. So I ask you to find ways to embrace my love and reject the forces of fear, because my beloved child, I made you for love. You deserve love. Crap. Did that continue going? Okay. Sorry, my I need to charge my phone. Hold on. Let me plug her in. Okay. I don't know why I just assigned gender to my phone. Hold on. Did that work? I don't know. Hold on. Hold on, friends. Hold on. Okay, so I don't know. So my battery, I just said my battery was going low. But anyway, here we are in 2021, and I thought I would do something different. So, you know the book, Humans of New York, or the Facebook post that you see sometimes? It's been what I've always wanted to do, and I think it would be so much fun, is at my church, if we did we would have to wait till the pandemic is over, but do a Humans of David's, and maybe every week we would, in our weekly emails or even every month, we would have a family's picture, and then they would just share a story about themselves, because that's the beauty, I think, of this Humans of New York, because it's simply just pictures of people, and they're sharing, and it's nothing specific. It's just them sharing a piece of their life. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So and this is simple. It looks like he's drinking a Mountain Dew. So here we have this man. And all he says is, "I died for 8 minutes on January 26th. And I've been having really weird dreams ever since." So that's our first picture of the day. I would love to do it even with my Facebook friends. I love this concept of simply highlighting people, because everyone deserves to be highlighted, right? It's it's just a powerful concept. So let's hear about leading women in the Hebrew Bible. So opposite, we have the portrait of Queen Esther. Esther was a very dominant and leading woman in the Hebrew Bible. And this is a vase from 490 BCE right there. So during the Bronze and Iron Ages and well into Roman times, women had few rights. That's putting it lightly. Most women could not go out without their father's permission, or once they married, that of their husband. In addition, women had few property or inheritance rights that were not subordinate to the will of the principal man in the house. And very few had access to education, because a woman's primary responsibility was to bear children and be the primary caregiver for her family. That is why the great consideration Jesus showed toward women and his efforts to welcome them into his circle as disciples are so extraordinary. Some scholars believe that the subservient role of women in the Bible is based on a verse in Genesis. After the eviction from paradise, God told Eve, your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. Other segments in Genesis, however, seem to suggest that man and woman are more equal. In one version of the creation story, God shaped humankind in his own image. This may explain why, even though a woman was expected to defer to her husband, she was generally treated with greater kindness and dignity than in other ancient societies. The verses of the Psalms, Proverbs, or Song of Solomon are full of poetry about the love and tenderness of a woman. And although the birth of a son was a cause for great joy, so too was the arrival of a daughter. All right. And so, tomorrow, we're going to dive right into it, and we're going to hear about Eve. All right. Powerful women in the Hebrew Scriptures. So, sorry. Hey, Ken. Hey, little butt munch. Yeah. Okay, sorry. She likes to play. So let's get right into catching fire, shall we? Let me stop. Don't bite me. I need to work out today still. A side note, when I work out, she just attacks. It's like her, whenever I try to do a sit-up or something, she just thinks it's time to be mean. So let's get into catching fire and hear what's happened. Where is she? What are they doing to her? Prim, I call out. Prim! Only another agonized scream answers me. How did she get here? Why is she part of the games? Vines cut into my face and arms. Creepers grab my feet, but I'm getting closer to her. Closer, very close. Sweat pours down my face, stinging the healing acid wounds. I pant, trying to get some use out of the warm, moist air that seems empty of oxygen. Prim makes a sound, such as a lost, irretrievable sound, that I can't even imagine what they've done to evoke. Prim, I rip through a wall of green into a small clearing, and the sound repeats directly above me. My head whips back. Do they have her up in the trees? I desperately search the branches, but see nothing. Prim! I hear her, but can't see her. Her next wail rings out clear as a bell, and there's no mistaking the source. It's coming from the mouth of a small, crested black bird perched on a branch about 10 feet over my head. And then I understand. It's a jabberjay. I've never seen one before. I thought they no longer existed. And for a moment, as I lean against the trunk of the tree, clutching the stitch in my side, I examine it. The mutation, the forerunner, the father. I pull up a mental image of a mockingbird, fuse it with the jabberjay, and yes, I can see how they mated to make my mockingjay. There is nothing about the bird that suggests it's a mutt, nothing except the horribly lifelike sounds of Prim's voice, streaming from its mouth. I silence it with an arrow in its throat. The bird falls to the ground. I remove my arrow and wring its neck for good measure. Then I hurl the revolting thing into the jungle. No degree of hunger would ever tempt me to eat it. It wasn't real, I tell myself, the same way that mutation wolves last year weren't really the dead tributes. It's just a sadistic trick of the game makers. Finnick crashes into the clearing to find me wiping off my arrow clean with some moss. Katniss, it's okay, I say, although I don't feel okay. I thought I heard my sister, but the piercing shriek cuts me off. It's another voice, not Prim's, maybe a young woman's. I don't recognize it, but the effect on Finnick is instantaneous. The color vanishes from his face, and I can actually see his pupils dilate in fear. Finnick, wait, I say, reaching out to reassure him, but he's bolted away, gone off in pursuit of the victim, as mindlessly as I pursued Prim. Finnick, I call, but I know he wasn't. He won't turn back and wait for me to give a rational explanation, so all I can do is follow him. It's no effort to track him, even though he's moving so fast, since he leaves a clear trampled path in his wake. But the bird is at least a quarter mile away, most of it uphill. So much fun being bit. And by the time I reach him, I'm winded. He's circling around a giant tree. The trunk must be 4 feet in diameter, and the limbs don't even begin until 20 feet up. The woman's shrieks emanate from somewhere in the foliage, but the jabberjay is concealed. Finnick's screaming as well over and over. Annie, he's in a state of panic and completely unreachable, so I do what I would do anyway. I scale an adjacent tree, locate the jabberjay, and take it out with an arrow. It falls straight down, landing right at Finnick's feet. He picks it up, slowly making the connection. But when I slide down to join him, he looks more despairing than ever. Yeah, sorry. That was an intense scene, and I was meant to read it a little more intensely. All right, God bless you.